We have some disappointing Tesla stock news to go over in this video and some big breaking news. What's going on over in the Middle East? The US and the UK have officially hit the Houthis, and this could start what some people think could be a larger conflict. And that's bad news for stocks also. Let's start with Tesla. It appears that Tesla has cut the Model 3 prices in China by up to 6%. The Model 3 rear-wheel drive is down 6% in price, and the Model 3 long range is down 3.9%. This equals about $2,183 of a reduction for the rear-wheel drive. That could turn out to be quite a hit to margins, and I would expect Tesla stock is going to be down tomorrow off of this news. Kelvin Yang on X, well, he basically predicted this was going to happen. He said there was a rumor that China was going to cut prices. 5 hours ago, he said this, and Tesla just cut prices within the last hour or so. He also says that the last time Tesla raised prices in China, the weekly order volume was about 14 to 15,000. Last week, it was less than 7,000. He says this isn't an isolated Tesla issue. Basically, across the board, car makers are seeing half the order level in week 1 of 2024. A couple reasons for this would be the Chinese New Year is a little bit later this year, and you could have seen a pull forward effect in Q4 that pulled forward a lot of demand, and now you're just not seeing that much to start the new year. Model Y prices have also been cut in China by about 2.8%. The Model 3 rear-wheel drive is down 2.8%, and the Model Y long range is down 2.1%. The Model Y Performance holds the same price. So indeed, for Tesla stock investors, when it rains, it sure does pour. Tesla stock just cannot get a break. And following this news, I'm sure tomorrow is going to be another red day. In fact, you have only had one green day in 10 trading days. Tomorrow is going to be 11, so it's just getting worse and worse. We also reported this news earlier that Tesla will suspend most car production at Giga Berlin from January 29th through February 11th, citing a lack of components due to shifts in transportation routes because of attacks on vessels in the Red Sea. We are also receiving news that Tesla has increased the price of the Model Y 7C option by $500 to $3,000 in the US. But this is going to do very little to offset the price reduction over in China. That was really bad news tonight. Tesla stock is currently down about 1% in overnight trading following these price reductions in China and the price increase on the 7-seater Model Y. Tesla stock is now at $225.50 per share. And yeah, if we have bad earnings on January 24th, if things don't start to go correct in our markets, we could be in for potentially under $200 per share for Tesla stock. That's bittersweet because in the short term, it kind of sucks watching your position go down the poop chute. But it's good news because if you're trying to buy Tesla stock, you only make money on the buy. You don't make money when you sell a stock. You make money if you buy a good stock at good prices. And you're getting better and better prices. Over the past 10 days, Tesla stock has been red, well, 9 of them. Tesla's only been green 1 day out of 10, which is going to be 11 coming tomorrow. Fundstrat's head of technical strategy, Mark Newton, says our October, late December 2023 rally might require a 50 to 61.8% retracement before a pushback to new highs can occur. My bias is for lower prices over the next couple of months before another rally back to all-time highs can get underway. This could pull the SPY down to about $440 per share. Again, if you mix that with potentially a bad earnings call on January 24th, and the prospects for Tesla going ahead just don't look great. After all, I thought the price cuts were done. in the US and in China, and that just doesn't seem to be the case. This does unfortunately open the door for more downside, even if we do have good earnings coming on January 24th. But we do have maybe a little bit of good news. Cathie Wood has been buying the dip. She just bought 112,475 shares of Tesla stock today. Some people like to make the point that Cathie has really bad timing. And that seems to be true. She just bought over 100,000 shares as well around January 6th, 5th or so. I believe that was on a Friday, the 5th. And Tesla stock is down considerably since then. So we will see, but even at this point, Tesla's stock on some of your technical indicators like the RSI, well, it looks terrible. Tesla's RSI at 36.8 is way lower than the S&P, than the NASDAQ, than even the Russell 2000 has a higher RSI than that. And the Russell has been getting smashed to start 2024. Tesla's RSI is about 14 points lower than the IWM, the ETF for the Russell 2000, which that RSI sits at about 51. And if all of this was not enough, we have more bad news. Well, apparently the United States military might have an answer for that, and hopefully a solution. After all, shipping costs are up big time due to these attacks on merchant vessels in the Red Sea. The sooner this gets over, the better it is for you as a Tesla stock investor. Clearly, Tesla has to shut down Giga Berlin because of this. But really, for any investor, the quicker this is over, the quicker things can hopefully get back to some sort of normal. It looks like the US and the UK have officially conducted strikes inside Yemen on Houthi targets to retaliate for the Red Sea bombing of merchant vessels. A US official has said these attacks are concentrated on their drone, missile launch sites, and radar capabilities. On Thursday night, President Young Biden called the strikes a clear message that the United States and our partners will not tolerate attacks on our personnel or allow hostile actors to imperil freedom of navigation in one of the world's most critical commercial routes. In a statement, he warns, "I will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and the free flow of international commerce as necessary." The US and the UK were directly involved in hitting targets, but the Netherlands, Australia, Canada, and Bahrain also participated. And US military officials confirm this operation was conducted with F-16 fighter jets, ships, and a submarine. So this strike conducted by the US and the UK is going to do one of two things. It's either going to relax the situation, maybe the US and the UK knocked out the capacity with the Houthis and their ability to be able to conduct attacks on merchant vessels, or it's going to ignite the conflict into something much larger, and that would be a problem for investors. It appears the Houthis have already issued a statement about retaliation against the US and the Western allies, so doesn't look like the situation's getting better anytime soon, and it could get a whole lot worse, and if it does, that's going to be bad news for our markets. Not just bad news because the US deficit tops $500 billion in the first quarter of the fiscal year, but bad news because you can see the price of oil following these strikes is already up about 2%. This could spark larger fears of a bigger war in the Middle East, and that's not good for anyone. So unfortunately tonight, it looks like there's a lot more bad news than good news. And the last thing that we're going to talk about here in this video is what Gary Black just said. He says Tesla cut prices in China tonight by 2 to 6%. We estimate this will cause Tesla analysts to cut 2024 adjusted earnings estimates by approximately $1 billion, or by about 25 to 30 cents a share. Current Wall Street estimates around $3.83. So that would be about a 7% decline. We will cut our own 2024 adjusted EPS from $4.20 to $3.90. We assume no incremental volume growth since Tesla's Chinese competitors are likely to match the Tesla price cut, similar to what happened last year. So similar volume, we're not going to sell more units, but they're going to sell at lower prices. That's why Tesla cutting prices is bad. It's not like Tesla sells more units. When they cut prices, they just cut prices. And Tesla doesn't benefit. So these are unfortunately big problems and a lot of bad news across the board. Hopefully the whole Houthi situation gets resolved quickly, and hopefully that does not spark into a larger war, especially any kind of boots on the ground or larger military operations. That's going to be bad for oil. That's going to be bad for shipping for a very long time. That's very inflationary. Although, you know, if it does have a huge effect, which I hopefully not, right? Let's not forecast that. Then that would be severely restrictive on our economy as well. So all in all, lots of bad news to report. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you made it to the end of this video. If you guys do want to come trade with us live in real time, hopefully 2024 is a great year like 2023 was. No guarantees, obviously. We never know what the markets are going to send our way, and 2024 has been exciting in the whole 11 days that we've been in it so far. Thank you for watching. My name is Michael Tyler. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.